Gianni's Hourglass. In the sun-warmed village of Montepulciano, nestled in the rolling hills of Tuscany, lived a 12-year-old boy named Gianni, who always ran, never walked. If you saw a blur zipping through the olive groves or weaving past the vineyard fences, it was probably him. He ran to school, he ran through lunch, he ran home, because Gianni believed life was a race. Faster means better, he'd say. I'll get more done. He wanted to be first in everything. First to finish his homework. First to grow up. First to leave the small village and live a big life in a big city. His Nonna Rosa, his grandmother, lived 2 houses away. She was the opposite. She moved slowly. She talked slowly. She even stirred her soup like time didn't exist. "Why do you move like the world's asleep?" Gianni once asked. And she'd smile and say, "Because I like to notice it's awake." Gianni didn't understand what that meant, but then Nonna got sick. It wasn't sudden. It was the kind of slow, quiet sickness that didn't stop you all at once, but chipped away at the days. The doctor said she needed rest. So she stopped going to the Sunday market, stopped tending her basil. But every week she invited Gianni over for lunch. "I don't have time," he'd say. Homework, soccer, piano class, tests. She never pushed, just nodded. Then, one morning, she left a wooden hourglass on Gianni's doorstep. No note, just sand, drifting grain by grain between 2 round bulbs of glass. Gianni picked it up. Strange. Boring. He stuck it on his shelf and forgot about it. Until one day, the day his soccer practice got canceled, and his teacher called in sick. He came home early. He stared at the hourglass. Then, for no real reason, he flipped it, and just sat. He watched the sand fall. 1 grain, then another, and another. For the first time in a long time, Gianni was still. The sound of the birds outside, the smell of tomato vines through the open window, the tick of the kitchen clock, everything slowed down. And for the first time in weeks, he remembered something. He missed his Nonna. He ran to her house, not out of habit, but out of love. She was sitting by the window, wrapped in a shawl, watching the sun melt over the vineyards. "I flipped the hourglass," he said breathlessly. "And I waited, just like that." She smiled weakly. "And what did you find?" "I think," he said, "I think I saw things I never noticed before." She nodded. "That's what time is for, caro mio. Not to outrun, but to sit with, to taste, to hold in your hands before it slips through." They sat together for the rest of the evening. No clocks, no rush, just the sound of spoons clinking in bowls of warm lentil soup, and the slow, soft beat of a moment being fully lived. Years later, Gianni did grow up. He did move to Florence, then Milan, then New York. But wherever he lived, one thing always came with him: a little hourglass on his desk. And whenever life got too fast, he'd flip it, sit down, and remember the village that taught him the most important truth of all. You don't have to fill every minute. Sometimes, you just need to feel one. Moral of the story: don't rush through life trying to finish it. Time is not something to beat, it's something to be with.